Hey everyone, Louis here, the host of the Livewire Music podcast, the show that takes you behind the scenes of the UK music industry. This podcast is all about giving artists and music industry pros a platform to share their stories, the highs, the lows, the struggles, the lessons, and of course, the music that makes it all worthwhile. And I'm excited today to bring you our guest. It's Jack Cattell from The Last Pioneers. How are you, mate?
I'm all good, mate. How are you? Thanks for having me on.
I'm pretty good, mate. I'm pretty good. Yeah. You're looking as usual, even in your casuals, you're looking really smart. That's the one thing I like about you. You always look $1 million, man. Even with a little, an Adidas tracksuit, you're looking awesome.
I put it on just for you, mate. I try and make an impression and that.
Good luck. Well, listen, you brushed your hair, so that's a start. So nice one. It's great to see you, man. So,
Have
the
you
last,
brushed yours though?
hey, the less to say about that, the better, unfortunately. But I mean, I would have. Let's put it that way. I would have definitely. I've shaved it, if that helps. I suppose that's the same thing, right? I did.
Yeah,
I did.
that's effort. That is, yeah.
I did have a shave this morning, so yeah, cool, man. So, I mean, I've known you. So I've been following your stuff for like 5 or 6 years now, and yeah, man, you were going out there just as Jack Cattell, and now you're
Yeah.
going out there as the last pioneer. So tell everyone who's listening a little bit about the band, the background, and kind of the reason why you changed the name.
So we started back. Um, I personally started back in about 2016, 2017. I used to play bass for a few bands here and there. And then started writing my own songs and going out and playing them, and it started to get a little bit of traction. So I got in 2019, just before COVID hit, got Josh and Ali in to play bass and drums for me. We got Anton in to play guitar during COVID, in 2020, and then after that we changed the name to the Jack Cattell Band when it started to
Yeah,
get
that's
more
it.
of
Yeah,
that band feel, and it started coming away from sort of singer-songwriter and backing bands to sort of a bigger project and more of a band feel, traditionally. So we tried to change it to the Jack Cattell Band, and it just didn't seem to scratch that itch, if you know what I mean. And we just thought that the best thing for us going forwards, especially with the way that the band was going, was to get that band name so that we were all even though we were all equal, and
yeah,
I've always treated it like that throughout the whole of the Jack Cattell process.
got you.
Um, it just gives that proper feel, like it's not just attached to me, and the
Yeah,
band
yeah,
get their flowers,
yeah.
which they thoroughly deserve.
No, fair
So
enough.
yeah, pick the Last Pioneers as the name, and
Yeah, where did that come from?
we banded around with a few, and then I'd floated that one to the band, and it just kind of seemed to tick all the boxes. I think it really suited us and our style. It's kind of got that retro element, but modern day as well. And yeah, we just felt like it really suited us. And luckily there was no other bands that had that name,
Yeah, that's
which was
always.
one of the big factors.
Yeah, you won't believe how many like band names are already taken up. And then you've got like the URLs and all that other
Yeah.
stuff and the socials you've got to think about as well. Yeah, because it may not necessarily be a band, but there'll be something that's taken that name.
But that's the thing. We come up with quite a few good ones that we were all kind of happy with, and then we'd looked on Spotify and online, and there was so many other bands, and there was like a long list.
Great
And
minds.
I think we get into a phase now where like every man and their dog's in a band, aren't they? So all the good band names are taken. But yeah, we were thankfully we dropped on a one that we think is good and suits us as well.
Yeah, no, it's cool. Been listening to your stuff again, and I've noticed that you saying that I've actually picked up on you saying that you were more singer songwriter, and your sounds definitely like changed a lot. Was that kind of deliberate as a band, or do you think that's like the way you've progressed, like writing your music, or was it the way it was recorded, or the studio, or or do you think it's just the evolution of your songwriting?
I think it's probably not a great answer, but it's a culmination of all of those things that you've
Right.
just
Yeah. Yeah.
mentioned. I think it was the fact that as a band, we've all got such different influences, that I think the songwriting that had an effect on my songwriting personally, because I was tapping into a few of the bands that Ali liked, that Anton liked, that Josh liked. So it was helping me sort of broaden my horizons a little bit, but also the fact that you've got a band, you can write bigger tunes.
Mm.
So
Feel the
instead of just
sound.
coming away from the acoustic guitar, exactly, and
Yeah.
fill the sound out. And then another thing that helped us change was using different producers. We started um, using Niall from the Claws, who I'm sure
Okay.
you'll probably have on this podcast at some point.
Hopefully
Um,
one day. I
it-
mean, they're
and
smashing it at the moment, aren't they? So.
yeah, they're doing really well, and he's Niall especially. He's produced everything
Ah,
for us,
got you.
from Dance Floor Diva to the EP that you can see probably in the
Yeah. Yeah.
distance there.
Yeah. Yeah. The
Um,
square one.
so he's been a massive help, and he's just so knowledgeable and very, very talented individual.
Great. So where have you recorded in the past then?
So I started recording with I can't remember what the studio name is called now. But I was basically recording from my house, just
Oh,
into live,
okay.
um, with a bloke called Sam. Then moved on to Craig, at 300 acres in Colton,
Okay. Right. Okay.
um, and then moved to Nile, to record with Nile, and we haven't changed since.
Got you.
We feel like we've really struck something good there, and I did from a personal level. I can't speak to the rest of the band, but I'm sure they'd say exactly the same thing. Um, we've got a good personal relationship with Noel, but we've also got similar ideas. So I think we kind of bounce off each other, especially in the studio. And there's some of the stuff that's on the records that he's produced, and the ideas that he brought to the table to songs that we already thought were really good songs. It just adds
Yeah.
that little bit extra.
It's that bit of sprinkling of magic, isn't it? You know, the sort of ideas that you might not really
Exactly.
have, and it really is. Yeah, a good producer will do that, right? They'll come up with some stuff that doesn't, completely change the song, but it was just that icing on the cake. That's really cool. Yeah, I mean, I couldn't like I say. I mean, the songs they're a lot more energetic, and you even kind of sort of I've seen you sort of say that before. There's seems to be definitely more energy, and there's more of a kind of dance feel to some of it. There's a bit of a swing sort of, like you can like dance to them, and that's not always the case with like indie bands, which is again something, I guess. Have you done that consciously, or has that also happened, just through the process?
I think a little bit of it is conscious. I think a lot of the music that I listen to personally, I listen to sort of bands like Blossoms. I mean, working with Nile, obviously, the Claws,
Yeah.
all they've all got that sort of, yeah. It's not just a lyric or lyrically like charged song. It's everything about it. It
Mm,
makes you want to dance. It makes you want to go and feel that live performance. And I think one of the issues we had in our early days, and one of the mistakes that we did make, was we didn't quite translate our live sound and our live energy, um, to record. And I mean, you've seen us live countless
yeah.
times. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
well, I don't stand still, do I?
No.
I like it. I'm like a kid who's just had its first sip of Coke. Well, probably bad drink. First
Yeah.
sip of sugary drink.
Yeah, yeah, sort of a sip of Coke in the 1930s, right? Okay, yeah.
So it was a challenge for us early on to try and blend that live sound and that live energy that we have onto record. And I think there's a few tunes that obviously aren't on Spotify anymore, but we
Yeah,
we didn't quite get it right. And then it
yeah,
took a bit of time to hone into the fact that, this is how we achieve that. And I feel like we've really caught on to that now. And that's one of the things we've learned. Just from our own mistakes, I suppose, but also working with people who know what they're doing and very good at their jobs.
Yeah. No, it definitely comes out in your music. That's cool. So you released your is it your first EP? Was it first EP because you released a load of singles? So Square One you released
Yeah,
in May. How's that done for you? Because I know you released a vinyl as well, right?
yeah, we did. It went really well. With the EP was it was kind of a long process because obviously of us changing the name. We had this idea for the EP prior to the name change, so we had to chop and change two songs that we'd released under the old name when we changed to the new one. But yeah, it went really well. We're all really, really proud of it, and to you just touched on it there, to have our music on vinyl is
It's cool, isn't it?
special moment.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
cool.
it's just unbelievable.
Yeah, yeah. You just got to sell the buggers now. That's the only problem.
Yeah, that's the hard part, isn't it?
I know, yeah.
The fun
It's like,
part's
I've
having
got
it
this,
done, but you
yeah.
gotta sell them.
Yeah, yeah. No, but you know what? We know in the last sort of 10 years, vinyl's had a bit of a resurgence, and I think it's good to have something for people to take away. And even if people are just sort of catch you at a gig and they don't, they'll see you, and if they can take away a bit of merch or something, and they can, that gets them engaged, right? So it's good to, I'm
Yeah,
always
exactly.
I'm a big promoter of that, so I'm a big believer of that sort of thing, because you've just got to, got to try and give the people something to take away, So yeah, that's
Especially in
cool,
such
man.
a digital age as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's good. People do still want, physical items. So
Yeah.
how did you go about doing all that then? Did you did you have to have a minimum amount made and all that sort of stuff?
Yeah, so we discussed the idea before we'd even finished recording it and putting it out on vinyl. I know a lot of local indie bands that we're mates with that done runs of vinyl and they've done really well, and we're really thankful that ours has also done really well.
Yeah.
But yeah, we just had to go to we used Press on Vinyl, who
Okay.
a lot of our a lot of our friends had trusted, and I mean, when vinyl comes out, especially from local bands, I'm always straight on it. So I've got a case full of, I mean, Candy's vinyl, the Clausey's vinyl, Overpass's
Yeah.
vinyl. I think
Nice.
I've got the Jack Fletcher vinyl somewhere.
Okay.
Um, so
Yeah.
we just spoke to bands that we knew had put vinyl out and said, "Who do you recommend?" And Press on
Yeah.
Vinyl were highly recommended, and yeah, they've done a great job of ours as well.
Yeah, and the good thing is these days you don't have to get like thousands printed either. You can get 50, you can get 10 printed if you want. So the
Yeah.
obviously the the price is more expensive when they're really ordering a 10 or 50 or 100 word, but at least that allows bands, grassroots bands or bands who are on the up, to get it put onto the vinyl, because it's right, it's cool doing that. um so I just wanted to talk about some of your favorite songs. I guess it's a bit like having which one's your favorite child, maybe. But you kind of I mean, you've got like about what 20 songs on Spotify now. What's your favorite three?
Ooh, uh, see, on Spotify, it'd be a different answer to in general now, I think, because I'm constantly writing.
Right.
We've
Okay.
probably got
Yeah.
about 50 songs that people haven't
Oh,
even
okay.
touched on yet. And there's a few new ones that we're currently working into the set that I think could
Nice.
be up there. But if we're just talking on Spotify, I think Dance Floor Diva was and still is probably my favorite song that we've got on Spotify. I think it represents us so well. And it was the first song that we got onto record really that took us somewhere. I mean, it got over 50,000 streams, which
Wow.
was a
That's great.
massive milestone at the time
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
us. Um, so that one would be up there. Hollywood Nights, I think, is the best song that I've written. Um, that was written prior to the band, but it's a
Yeah.
song that we actually changed quite a lot in the studio from just being an acoustic song to being a full band song. And I love that about it, and I love the production and the studio time on that. And then I'd probably say Coming for You. I think Coming for You off the EP is it's probably my favourite song off the EP.
Yeah, I like that one.
I know the other three disagree. I know they love No Time. And
That
so do I. But
listen,
I
that
think
is a good thing, right? Because if you're all arguing
it
amongst
is.
yourselves which one you like the best, that's a good thing. That's definitely a good thing, man.
I'd like to think so. I'd like to think so. I think with Coming for You as well. I think we put out a really good music video for it. That was so much fun to film, and I think that does sway my decision as well. 'Cause we had this concept for that video, and I think Taylor Ruck, who films most of our music videos, he smashed it out of the park, and it was so much fun to film.
Great, yeah, yeah. The videos are fun. They take ages, but they are a good crack when you get them right, for sure. Cool. Well, look, good news, everyone. In the show notes, you'll be able to find a playlist which includes all of the Last Pioneer songs, along with some tunes that have influenced the band. So don't forget to have a listen. Right. I just want to sort of touch on a bit of your background and influence, really. You mentioned it a little bit earlier, but when did you get the bug for music? You know, when did you first start getting into it? You know, how old were you and kind of how did that happen?
Um, I mean, I've always loved music. I think every musician would tell you that. I've been going to gigs since I was sort of 3 or 4 years old. I think my first gig was 2002 potentially,
Really? Wow.
2001. My dad took me and my brother to see Ray Davis from the Kinks at the Symphony Hall.
Nice. Nice.
Um,
So
so it
was your
kind of
family
started there.
is your family like really into music and stuff?
Yeah, like my mum and dad love music,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
my dad's had guitars lying around the house ever since
That's
I
it.
was, well, ever since I was
That's
a
it.
baby, really.
Yeah, yeah.
So that obviously had a big influence. But yeah, just listening to music in the car on the way to school, and then it's kind of just grown from there. So it started from such a young age, but I didn't start playing an instrument until I was 14, maybe.
Okay.
Um,
And were
and
you
then I
play?
didn't start singing.
No, sorry, I was just going to say, were you playing an instrument before you started singing? But you're just about to answer. Sorry.
No, I'd sing around the house and stuff, but I never thought I was I was any good, and I probably wasn't any good. I bet my mum and dad were driven crazy by it, but it's just something that once I'd started playing guitar and writing my own songs, um, it was one of them. I was just like, well, no one else is going to sing them for me, so I'm going to have to sing them myself. And I think that's one thing that I've worked so hard on. I think a lot of people will work hard on learning an instrument or being good at their instrument, but a lot of people just think singing comes naturally, and it didn't come naturally to me.
No.
So I've worked really hard and just perfecting my voice and trying to get it to a level that I'm happy with. And I don't think I'll ever get it to a level that I'm happy with.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it's one of them that I'm always striving to do more.
Uh,
And
yeah.
can I sing this? Can I sing that? But
That's that's being a musician, isn't it? You know, you can. I don't think
yeah,
any musician, whatever instrument you play, even if it's just singing, you're never going to be the complete, you know everything and play everything and sing every note and stuff. It's just impossible, isn't it? I mean, that's the joy of it, really, as well.
exactly.
But you know what? I
Yeah,
mean, it's
it
cool.
is the joy of it.
You know, it's cool that you saw Ray Davis from the Kinks, you know, as your first gig. That's not bad. I mean, like in 20 years' time, you'll probably have people saying, "Yeah, my first gig was, you know, K-pop band that I saw at the Symphony Hall." It's not quite got the same, you know, sort of vibe, has it really? But yeah. So what about sort of the influences? You know, in terms of bands, what were the bands that you really kind of got stuck into and really kind of turned you? You know, I guess would have driven you on even more to become a musician. What bands would you say were kind of heavily influenced you over the years?
I think those early days, it would have been, yeah, Ray Davis and the Kinks, the Beatles, I suppose.
Yeah,
Well, I guess everyone knows the Beatles. Ray Davis, REM. My dad used to listen to REM all the time in the car, and I absolutely loved REM. We went to see those when I was 6 or 7. I think that was at the NIA or the NEC. So they're definitely very early influences. Then got into Green Day. I mean, my first record was American Idiot by Green Day. Um, and
Great
then
album.
and then now's it is a great album, isn't it? Oh, I could wax lyrical about Green Day's albums, and Dookie and 21st Century Breakdown all had a massive influence on like my writing. But Pigeon Detectives, the Tellys, Bruce Springsteen when I got a little bit older,
Yeah.
Blossoms now, The Claws now.
Yeah.
As much as we're quite pally with them, like that's such a good band.
Yeah. Yeah.
Royston Club now as well.
Yeah.
So it's kind of just it's ever changing, isn't it? I think our music taste, especially as you grow up, you start to appreciate different things about music.
Definitely.
Whereas
Definitely.
when you're younger, you probably don't quite understand the lyrical content. But I feel like now, as I've grown up, that's one thing that I love about music is the expression and the lyricism and the way people phrase things. It's just fascinates me.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think that's like normal with lots of people. For me, I was never really into David Bowie, and I absolutely love him now. Like David Bowie, I'm like, I have to put him on at least once a week. Like, and I just didn't get it when I was younger. I don't know what it was. Just like, who's this guy from the 70s and 80s? Forget him, kind of thing. It's it's crazy, but I guess you get caught. I mean, I was very much sort of in the 90s, so it was all Oasis for me in the Britpop era. And when you're that kind of impressionable age, you're just giving it the big one around the Britpop era because that's your thing, So, but I think you definitely, as you get older, you kind of you definitely listen to more and you appreciate more for sure. That's really cool. And by the way, on Oasis, did you go and see him this summer at all?
I did, yeah. I managed to snag us 2 tickets to
Nice.
Heaton Park. So yeah, I was buzzing. But I'd seen Oasis back in 2009 in Birmingham, just before they split up.
Right.
And I mean, they were still great. As much as it divides opinion, they were still good.
Yeah.
Liam's voice was a little bit sharp at the time, but they were still good, and you could tell there was like tension, and it was sort of drawing to the close. But I'd said to my girlfriend, I was like, I'm not sure if I want to go and see him again because it might ruin if it's rubbish. That it might. I was blown away, absolutely blown away. I don't think arguably they probably haven't sounded better than they sound right now.
Yeah, I mean, I've tried to avoid a lot of the coverage because I made the mistake of, so I thought I'd put loads of browsers on when the tickets come out, not realizing that, you're not supposed to put loads of browsers on because I did that years ago for Stone Roses tickets, and I managed to get them then. So I was there at 7:00 in my office here, just waiting, and then suddenly, I got through about 4:00. And they'd all gone by then. So, but if the rumors are true, they're going to be doing a big sort of tour next year. There's rumors of Nebworth and the Etihad Stadium. So I don't think after the success they're going to be going away anytime soon, are they?
No, I can't see them going away anytime soon. Nebworth shows would be unreal.
Yeah, definitely. Right, let's take a quick break. We'll be back after this. Welcome back to the Livewire Music Podcast, the show that's shining a spotlight on fresh talent, creative minds, and unsung heroes who are making the world of music move. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, follow, and share to help us grow the community and keep the great music conversations flowing. I'm here with Jack Cattell from The Last Pioneers. All right, Jack?
Yeah, I'm still here. Still ready to annoy people with my horrible black country accent. But there we go.
Mate, listen, I can understand you. So if I can understand you, everyone can understand you. So don't worry about that, mate. Don't worry about that.
Just have to put subtitles on, mate.
Nah. Well, if you start talking mainland, sort of downtown Gornal, I think people will probably be like, "What?" But yeah, you're fine, mate. You're fine. You're fine. I mind you, I get whenever I go, people are like, "Oh, you're Brummie." I'm like, "What? No, I'm from Worcestershire, darling. Do you mind?" Cool, man. Well, let's. I wanted to sort of carry on and just talk a little bit music industry uh, sort of focused and just wondered if you had any thoughts on if there was one thing that you could change in the music industry, what would it be?
Ooh. I think there is a few things I would change. I think like, the one thing that I definitely change is there's this sort of need, and social media is great, and it's a brilliant tool to get yourself noticed and get yourself out there and reach new audiences. But there's so much pressure on artists nowadays to be a social media superstar, and and not so much how do I phrase this? I don't think you have to be as good as a musician anymore. I think you just need to be able to sell yourself, and you
Yeah.
are essentially a salesman. And I think that's what I'd like to change. I'd like to bring it more back to the art side. And yes, you still have to sell yourself. Like bands have always had to sell themselves. It's not
Yeah.
just necessarily great music is gonna
Mm.
get you to the top of the music, and you need a bit
Yeah.
of everything. So I get that. But I think that is the one thing. I think having having such a content focused
Mm.
industry at the moment is silencing some really good art. Um, so I'd like that balance to shift a bit more, so it's a bit more of both.
Yeah, you're right. It is a great tool, isn't it? But as you say, people are sort of so much focused on the algorithm and
Yeah.
what's trending, to keep you up there. It's almost, I guess what you're saying is that takes away from the music when it should be about the music.
Yeah, and you have to spend so much time sort of making videos and
Mm.
content ideas and trying to be original, but also trying to jump on trends
Yeah.
and
How
like you
how
say, the algorithms are constantly changing. It's a
how do you
minefield, isn't it?
yeah, I mean, how do you kind of approach it? Do you have like a formula, or do you just wing it, or how do you kind of do your social media?
Um, I'll be honest, it's one of the things that I personally struggle with because I never
Mm.
know sort of what to post, how often we should
Mm.
be posting, and you can watch all the YouTube videos in the world, but it's hard to find to strike the right balance between everything and working your 9 to 5, then coming home and filming some content,
Mm.
writing songs. It's trying to find that balance. And I know there's certain influencers who said, "Oh well, we've all got the same 24 hours in a day," but and to a certain extent, yes, we have, but it's hard to balance everything
Mm.
when everything is on you because not only are we having to push ourselves on social media, but we're a completely independent band.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
all our bookings, our management is done by the four of us.
Yeah. Yeah.
All
There's a
our
yeah.
like content ideas and stuff have to come from all four of us songwriting. So there's no like big industry team helping out
No.
or
No.
giving us the answers. It's just a lot of it's trial and error.
Yeah.
And that's what I would say to any sort of young up and coming band is that try stuff, and
Yeah.
if it works, then stick with it. If it doesn't, then either stick with it and persist if you enjoy doing it,
Yeah.
um, or try something new.
Yeah.
And I think that's the one thing for me with social media is I don't think I could fall into a mold personally. I think us as a band are like this is I don't think we could fall into a mold of something that we're not enjoying. So we try and
Mm.
make everything as authentic as we can be and
Yeah.
be ourselves, show our personalities while also just enjoying what we're doing as much as we
Yeah.
can.
I wonder if it's. I wonder if like it impacts on the. Well, it definitely does. Like the audience, I guess the audience you're trying to attract. You know, I guess it's maybe targeting where is your audience. You know, are they on TikTok? You know, which skews a little bit younger. Are they on Facebook or Instagram, which, you know, maybe skews a little bit older? YouTube, I guess that, you know, but as you say, when you're an independent band, there's so many other things that have to be done that one person can't do. Like you said, booking bands, social media, you know, doing the, you know, sending out the vinyls or whatever it is. There's so many little jobs that kind of, you know, need to be done. The website, you know, it's really difficult
Yeah,
to make it work. And I guess like sometimes it's like less is more. You know, you know,
yeah,
you keep,
exactly.
you know, even back in the day, that I guess it's the same as it's a platform, isn't it? So you get lots of bands that would
Yeah,
hardly say anything. You know, they'd still be like huge and people love them, but it's the you know, the attention economy these days, isn't it? And I think I watched this video of a guy who's really senior at Warner Music, and he was having an interview about what type of artists they want. You know, what type of artists do major labels looking for, and he was sort of skirting around lots of stuff and just kind of being, yeah, we want originality and, you know, authenticity and all this sort of stuff. But he was basically skirting around the fact that they want acts that have got a huge following, that have done all the work themselves, and essentially they're just going to come along and just go, right, we'll have that, and we'll give you 15%, and then, you know, we own you. So I mean, it's a tool, but it's a cruel mistress. It feels.
yeah, it really is the music business, isn't it? It's the same as any other business, and as much as it probably annoys us and frustrates us, it's just life, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And how about, so? I mean, you've mentioned quite a few sort of bands there in previous answers, and it there's like a quite a nice little scene building, or is already there in definitely in the Midlands, you know, of guitar bands. You've just named quite a few there that are, you know, from the wider area. I mean, that's a good thing. And I wonder if how much people like Oasis being back has kind of, it is a platform for all bands really now, to have a, you know, have a bit of a shot in the limelight.
Yeah, I think it also obviously the Oasis comeback will bring with it that boom of new guitar bands that come through.
Yeah.
That could sort of 12 to 18-year-old bracket that have probably grown up on Oasis due to their
Mm,
parents
yeah.
will now have the chance to go and see them and be inspired by that. And I think it's only going to do good things for indie and guitar music in general. I think it's only going to bring more bands through, because when good bands like those come back and you get the chance to go and see them and see the atmosphere and just be there for it,
Mm.
it's so much different to, I don't know, going on YouTube and watching an Oasis set from 20 years ago. It's just so much different, and the Midlands scene's brilliant. I mean, whenever I go out and see one of my pals' bands, there's always probably
Mm.
20 other musicians there from other bands. Like, with such a supported scene, I think that is one of the brilliant things about the Midlands, and I'll never stop singing about that because it's it's what you need. You know, you're not always in competition with each other,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
if there's a great band, I'm going to go and appreciate a great band, not think,
Yeah.
oh well, well, why is it working for them and not for us, sort of
Yeah.
thing. I'll never be bitter in that way. I just want, yeah, Midland bands and bands that we're pally with and deserving of a shot to get that shot and hopefully take it.
I think COVID's like impacted people, the way, you know, we interact, with the way we socialize. That's changed. I think it's, you know, people are starting to go out again finally, or have been, but it's still, even when you go to a pub now, you know, they're not as busy, or even the way this really bugs me, right? Slight tangent, but you go to a pub now, and people are still queuing up, like at the pub, like COVID.
Yeah.
No, everyone get to the front of the bar and let the barman or the bar staff work out who's next. It's funny.
See, I'm quite a short guy, so I quite like that because I never get seen at the bar. Everyone's always like, I have to weed on my way in.
Just little hand there going. Yeah, sorry, went on a slight little tangent there, but no, it's, you know, listen, there's always been a really strong music scene in the Midlands and you know, Wolves and Birmingham in particular, you know, even over our neck in the woods in you know, in the Wyre Forest, there's always been, you know, a decent scene. So hopefully, you know, that will continue, man. So you touched on it earlier, in terms of advice for new bands. What else, if you you know, if you could, here's a question: if you could speak to yourself when you were starting again, what would you say to yourself? What bit of advice would you give yourself? That's a bit deep, that is.
I forgot to keep it PG. Yeah.
Yeah, I think yeah, this is gonna
Don't be a insert expletive there, but
right, okay.
No, I think in all seriousness, I think there's a lot of I think I touched on it earlier. There's a lot of mistakes that not only I've made personally, but as a band that we've made over the years and obviously rectified. But I think the two pieces of advice that I would give is don't beat yourself up when it goes wrong, because it will go wrong. You know, no one's got all the answers to something new. And when you're stepping into the music industry, especially if you're stepping in on your own with no management or guidance, you're going to make a hell of a lot of mistakes, and that is fine. And the other thing that I'd say to bands is it is hard work. It is such hard work, not only to earn money, but like just putting in the hours, even if you're just doing it as a hobby. Like, it is such hard work. And that shouldn't put you off. It should drive you. I think the amount of hours that I put in myself into not only my playing, I think I touched on it earlier as well, about the fact that I've worked on my voice, my songwriting, but then it's the social media and stuff as well. And there's so many sort of facets to the music industry that people don't see. And everyone just, I think that kind of sex, drugs, rock and roll tag's kind of gone off the music industry, but everyone still thinks it's an easy way and an easy life, and all you get to go on tour and see all these lovely places. A lot of the time, that's not the case. It is a job, and it is hard work, and it's long hours a lot of the time. Sometimes you're not getting back home until 3 o'clock in the morning.
Hanging around for sound checks and all that sort of.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, you might earn 50 quid, which between a 4-piece band or a 5-piece band isn't enough to pay your petrol. Like, sometimes you're going to make a loss. And I think it's just being realistic when you're coming into the music industry. It's a great place, and I've met so many lovely people.
Yeah, friends, I mean, friends for life.
The reason that we're doing this podcast now,
exactly,
it's because we met through the music industry. You know, and you meet such lovely, genuine people, not only fellow musicians, but some of the people that come to all our shows, like now, that were strangers once upon a time, and now I'd class them as friends. And you know, I see them at other people's gigs, and you know, you're hugging and you're there with them, and like, you just share lovely stories. It's such a nice community feel if you're in the right places. But it doesn't change the fact that it's hard work, and hard work is worth it when you get great nights. You will get great nights in the music industry if you work hard.
Yeah, for sure, mate, for sure. Mate, it's been great having you. You know, thank you ever so much for your time. It's always good to sort of catch up with you. Is there anything, you know, let's talk about what's happening for the future. Now, I believe you've made a big announcement this week. I secretly knew about this about 2 months ago, maybe a bit longer than that, actually, but because I bumped into you at a gig, didn't I? But tell us your big announcement.
So I'm not sure when this podcast is going out, but on the 14th and the 15th of November, we're supporting the enemy twice in Coventry on their hometown shows, which for me and extended from me, so me and my brother. Obviously, my brother's not part of the band for people
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
some people that don't. He guitar techs for me, but we've grown up listening to the enemy, so
Yeah, they're great.
to support them,
Brilliant band.
especially on their hometown shows, is unreal. And we're all buzzing for it, absolutely buzzing for it, and can't wait.
That's really awesome. When is it? What date? What are the dates?
So it's the 14th and the 15th of November. So I'm assuming by the time that this podcast comes out, it'll have happened,
It will have already happened. Yes.
and people will be able to go over to our social media and check out the cards.
Yes. So do you want to leave yourself a future message? Because the podcast will be out after those gigs. So why don't you leave yourself a future message?
Oh, why did you play that bum note? Why did you mess it up? You had to go and mess it up, didn't you?
Mate, you won't.
And Anton, I'm talking to you.
and why was Josh playing so quick on that one bit?
Exactly.
No, brilliant, mate. It's been great having you on. It's really good to catch up with you. And have you got any other gigs lined up? Is there anything else before Christmas, or is that it? And then if not, what's happening next year?
Yeah, so the 6th of December, we are supporting our good pal Charm at Deadwax, who are a band from Warsaw, my neck of the woods. And then on the 21st of December, we're playing an acoustic Christmas show at
Nice.
AFC Wolverhampton City,
Okay.
raising money for the NHS and Macmillan
Oh, nice, man.
in honour of one of my friends who was sadly diagnosed with cancer a
crikey,
few months
okay.
back. But he's doing really well.
Great.
Robbie, if you're listening,
Great.
keep smashing it, mate.
Okay, good luck, Robbie. That's cool, mate. And so where can people find you if they want to find you? I'm going to put all the info in the show notes anyway. But yeah, where can everyone find you, Jack?
Last Pioneers on all socials, and the Last Pioneers on Spotify. Go and check out our music. I know you've made a playlist with some of our influences as well, so go and listen to that. And if you want to catch our whole discography of songs, then we've got a playlist on our Spotify as well for people to check out.
Awesome. You're a gent, Jack. It's great to see you, and I'm definitely going to come see you play before Christmas. Yeah, good luck with everything for the new year as well, dude. But thank you ever so much for appearing on the show. Jack Cattell, everyone.
Thanks for having me, mate. It's been a pleasure.
All right, man. Take it easy.